As a Blazers, we're going to go over the specs and opinions on this knife here. This one is the Magnum Alligator by Boker. So join the descriptions down below as well as far as what you think about this knife if you even own this knife. And then should you buy, borrow, or avoid this knife is something that you'll also get an opinion on at the end of the video. So stick around for that. Also subscribe to be the first to know. So some of the things that we want to go over today is going to be some of the thank yous for some of the people that have been a good part of the channel, added some information to it, gave opinions as far as what they thought might be a better way to present some of the information to you folks, which is very appreciative. And then so some of the channels also, the Knife Beater, Jack Farm Boy, and also the Blue Collar Survival has been something that they've been helping me with the process, also with some of the technical parts of it, because all of it is just really learning about things and then how to present it the best for you folks. So we do have the patches that came in. I did have one of those go out to Jack Farm Boy, so he should be getting one of these in the mail. Don't know how long it's going to take to get to him, but I will be getting to him. And then also we did even see on the Cutlery Lovers channel, he did get one of these Edge On Up systems. I do use their media, which is the best media for this tester here. So that's some of the things that are good for that. And also one of the news things, so check out one of the knives or knife makers that's kind of getting a lot of their new knives out there. So working on the process, the Effenberk knives. So extremely well engineered, going through weight reductions and different processes. Also has a patent on the pivot, so you don't actually need to disassemble the knife to change the scales on it. So check that out for that company. It's very impressive. And if you want to, put in an order for it, and then you can be one of the first on your block to have one of those. So we're going to go through this testing. I think this one's going to come out a little bit lower as far as the sharpness. Just in using it, it wasn't as sharp as I would have liked, but let's see what it comes out to as far as the sharpness test for this blade. So I do have it already preloaded. So we'll see what it comes out to be for that. So we're going to do this in grams. Already preloaded with it. So again, 18 grams already on that as far as the amount of weight from this fidget spinner. So 263. So we'll reload and then see what we have for the secondary one. $275. For that with an average of 269. So that's still fairly good as far as this level. So you're going to be a little bit higher. So it does have that 18 grams that are already on there, but it's still going to be kind of that high-end cutlery. It does not feel that sharp though. So it probably would be a good thing to strop it to get to use that blade. So do hope everybody had a really good Father's Day for yourself. If you're not a father, hopefully you have somebody in your life that you can really work to strive for as far as being a father as well. So very good to anybody that's out there that's been able to experience that or has somebody to really strive for. So there's going to be some of the ones here as far as a comparison to it. So there's going to be the Alligator. This one's going to be the CRKT Ruger collaboration. The LCK, and then we have a classic one as far as the Kershaw Skyline, and then we do have a new acquisition for myself, which is the R2D2. So that's very much going to be some of these sizings for these knives. So this is going to be how it's going to be sitting in your pocket. This I'm going to be reversing at some point, because even though the tip-up carry is very popular, it just rides way too high out of the pocket in comparison to some of these other ones. So that's going to be how that's going to be in the pocket. So retention is pretty good on it. in comparison. So that one's going to be a little bit looser, but fairly good. And then it actually is a very long clip, so it actually will retain in your pocket very well. And just using it, taking it in and out of the pocket, that actually is not too stiff where it actually becomes somewhat burdensome. It actually is fairly enjoyable for that. But we're going to some of the comparisons on the other ones, but really the action on this is very nice. It comes kind of dry as far as the lubrication. There's not really much on it, so I did put some lubrication on it. It did get a little bit better, but it also does have still, with the detent ball, it does have kind of a swooping noise when closing and opening. So it might be something that you like about the knife as well. But for being at that $25.95 price point, and again, that's free shipping through Blade Ops, you get this knife to your door for that $25.95. The MSRP on it is $34.96, so you get a good discount on that ordering it through them. Currently, they are out of stock for this model, but I guess look around, see if there's something else or other places that you could pick it up from. That's just where I got this Boker from, or this Magnum by Boker. So before going into the next one, we do still have the Lyman pull gauge for the flipper tab pull, and this is not something that is saying it's a good or bad thing. It just allows you to get an idea as far as how much weight's needed to actually actuate flipper tab. So this one's about 2 pounds, 12 ounces. So anything about that 2 to 3 pound range seems to be an enjoyable level. And then as far as grams, that's going to be 1,271 grams for anyone that's using the metric system for that. So that's something to look at for that specification and that level of enjoyment. So here we have, as far as the Magnum, this is the Alligator that we're reviewing today. And then we also do have the Rat 2 in D2. And we have the classic, we have the Skyline. And then a new acquisition as well as the LCK. So at one point I was going to actually return this knife. I actually had it sitting in my car. Glad I didn't. That's actually a pretty enjoyable knife as well for that one. And it's about the same price point. So these are about $25 as well. So that's actually a pretty good comparison for those two. And then so rolling into some of the sizing charts, one of the comments that was brought up as far as this one goes, as far as a lot of times people hold their knives not always in this position, but they do hold it in more of this angled position in hand. So just kind of keep that in mind when you print this out, if you are going to use this chart, and then how you do that comparison. So adult, female, this is going to be kind of what you're looking at for sizing comparison for you, and then also for that angled position in hand if you're going to be holding it this way. And also adult male. So if you have extra large hands, this might be something where you're going to drop that pinky for the use of this knife in comparison for that one. So this does have a 440A steel, so you gain quite a bit for corrosion resistance, but you do lose it in other places. So it's going to be the 440A, that's going to be right here for edge retention. Then you're going to roll into corrosion resistance, where you're going to bump up quite a bit to this level for 440A. And then for hardness, you're going to be down at the bottom section here. So 440A. And then you're going to also have it in wear resistance down here at 440A. So this one's said to come in about 4 ounces. So we'll do just kind of a verification for that to see where it's going to be. So that's going to be 113 grams, and right on at 4 ounces. So that is the correct weight for this knife in comparison to the factory specification for it. So as far as a buy, borrow, and avoid for this knife, I would recommend to buy it. Now, for that $25.95 price point, I think it's very well worth it for this blade. It sits well in pocket. The grip for the knife, again, more for right-handed, is very good. So as you're holding the knife, it's going to actually be kind of right at your fingertips there. So it adds a lot of confidence in using the knife. So very well patterned, and even as far as the CNC machining line. So I don't know if I can pick that up, but on the blade itself, there's actually all the way down, there's kind of that CNC machining that might be considered rough, but actually adds to the design that I actually really like. So some of the other custom makers uh, have some of those as far as into their design pattern. But for this one, for the Magnum by Boker, for the Alligator, I think it's a hit. So if you're going to pick it up, again, they're currently out of stock at Blade Ops, but you get free shipping with them. So if you want to hold off on that, pick it up from them. Otherwise, you can buy it directly from Boker. And there might be some other ones, but it doesn't seem like a lot of companies are offering this knife. So if you do come across it and you want to pick it up and try it out, I would recommend it. This is again the Boker. This is actually the Magnum by Boker Alligator. And then also one of the other ones that you want to check out. So we have this other one that I got in, which is the And one of the nice things about Magnum as well as Boker is as far as the presentation goes. So this is the canister that you get into it. It does have the cardboard sleeve around it, but each one of these are made specifically for the knife that you purchase. So it's not a standard holder, so it does fit snugly in there. That is purpose built for this knife, so it's not one that they use for every single one of their brands. Another one that I got in at the same time, if you did want to check it out, this is going to be the Arctic Ocean Sailor. So this is going to be one of the more popular ones just because of that sheepfoot blade, but kind of a long name, Arctic Ocean Sailor, so you could do an acronym like AOS, the Magnum AOS, but that's going to be a knife that will be coming up as well for review. But do let me know in the bottom, as far as the description, what you think, because these are just my opinions and some of the specifications available. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see. And then also we're going to go through and figure out some of the patches. So if you'd want to pick up a patch for yourself, I do want to have this kind of be more of an engagement type of thing. So folks that are actively involved in the channel, also, there's some people that are wanting to offer up knives for review, which I'm very humbled by that you would want to send me your knives. But if you want to do that, very well, we can send it over. We'll do a review on it, and I'll send one of these patches back with your knives. But let me know what you think again, and thank you for your time.